hit the trap spot. Bro, them got that bitch jumping. AG Bo boys in the trap breaking down onions. Ain't making no noise. I won't back down and I ain't running. Guapping out his top, he catch his op and jig on dumb shit. I'm just tryna pull all them racks out. They hit the line, I'm fulfilling they need. My bro in the back and all black, put a strap out. Focused on green, but it make niggas bleed. Stay in the hood and I know niggas capped out, dropping they low, but that's not where they be. Hop in the corner, hop out, see my mans, I'ma spaz out. Through his ass right across the street.
What's going on? You're now tuned in to Meds, Drinks, and Chill. We got a special guest in the building. We got Special Ed.
Yes, indeed. It's your boy Special Ed, a.k.a. the youngest in charge, a.k.a. the magnificent, a.k.a. Mr. I Got It Made. You know, we in the building, we out here. Maz, yeah.
What's going on, man? We got a real legend in the building.
Man, yeah, it takes some time, man. You know, it's not an overnight thing where you just pop up and people revere you as a legend or you know, trailblazer, pioneer, whatever they have, you know, want to refer to you as. So I just want to let everybody know, man, it's been a journey.
A lot of ups and downs?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like with anything, everything has ups and downs every day. So it's really how you bounce back from it, how you handle it, or how you absorb it at times.
Yeah, you got a great image too, though. Like, you never hear anything bad about you.
Well, I've always, I come from the era where we tried to exemplify greatness. Yeah. We tried to be seen as great people, not thugs or criminals. We don't want to be looked at as grimy.
Yeah.
We always dressed ourselves better. We make sure we got cuts, we smell good. We presented ourselves properly even as teenagers, because we wanted to shake the, you know, the misconception of being quote unquote hoodlums. You know what I'm saying? That was the word of the day. You know what I'm saying? So it was anything to not look like a hoodlum, because then you got police all over you, searching you, ripping your cars apart, and all that. So, you know, we always stay clean anyway. You know, if it looked like money, then, you know, what else?
Yeah, and I was gonna start off with true or false questions, right? So I'll ask you, and you say it's either true or false, right? That was the first thing I was gonna ask you, because you brought up style and stuff. Is it true or false that you had a stylist?
That I had a
stylist?
No, false.
False?
I dressed myself my whole life. The only time I ever had a stylist was for an album cover, Legal, and I didn't like what they did with it. Yeah. So I never used a stylist again.
That's the second album, Legal.
Second album, yeah.
Yeah, so that's false.
False.
True or false? You used your own car in the movie Juice?
True. Yeah, that was my car. I came up to the set, I was chilling with Pac. They had one of those hard top Jeep Wranglers with the top off, with furry steering wheel and you know, dice in the mirror, furry mirror. I was like, bro, I was like, drive my car, man. Look at my car. And then they turned around and looked and was like,
Cherry red. What was that? A Volkswagen?
It was a Volkswagen Passat.
Yeah, clean.
Yeah, it was clean. I just got it. I got some nice Funsa rims. Those was the most expensive rims in the shop. Like, only me and the owner had them. Yeah. And I just wanted something different. I wanted to be clean. I could have got any car that they made. Yeah. But I said to myself, what don't I see on the street? Right. And I looked around and looked and looked, and it was a new car, but I was like, man, fuck it. I don't see these on the street, so I copped one, and I wanted it red, bright, shiny, so motherfuckers
it was clean.
See my shit.
Clean.
Yeah. Passat.
True or false? You were 14 or 15 years old when you wrote I Got It Made.
True. Probably 14 to 15, because actually probably 14, because I wrote most of that album as an up-and-coming artist as a teenager, and then at the age of 15 is when I recorded them all.
Oh, wow.
So I had to write them leading up to the point where I recorded them. So yeah, true.
That's true. That's on one of the, what was that song? I think it was Think About It, when you said, since a kid you didn't play with toys, so she was writing rhymes the whole time?
Correct. We was doing other things,
yeah,
you know.
For sure.
I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I had 4 older brothers. We was outside.
Youngest in charge.
Yeah, you know, so we was just trying to find our way through life and through Brooklyn, through the hood, you know.
Cool. True or false? You spent the last 20 some odd years looking over your shoulder because you were afraid of Lou Chet Chen's family avenging his death.
Nah, that's false, man. Me and Lou Chen, we tied that up years ago, man. You know what I'm saying? We sat down and had some fried rice.
Yeah,
you know
everything's good now.
Yeah, we
that's
good.
What's up. True or false, you only have one hand?
I don't know, man. False, man. You know what that was?
Where'd that come from?
I'll tell you where that came from. On my first album, Youngest in Charge, we did a photo shoot in the dead of winter. And it was so cold, my hands was in my pocket. And I was posing in the dead of winter.
Oh yeah.
And it's fucking cold in New York. Yes, right by the water.
Global warming.
Right by the water. Yeah. So that was one. And then when I shot the video before I got it made, it was even colder. Because you could see my nose is frozen red, smoke coming out my mouth, everything while I'm outside rapping. So that was like the coldest video set I've ever been on.
That's what's up. And you said you grew up in Brooklyn, right?
Yes, sir.
Flatbush, Church Ave?
Yep.
How was it growing up in that area?
Man, it was congested and it felt comfortable though, you know what I'm saying? I think I'm more comfortable under those environments. I like being around 1 million people because I could decipher it and I could figure it out real quick and I could see everything everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to a high-paced environment. I'm used to making fast decisions, assessing a situation, knowing what's going down. So, I mean, it helped train me and train my mind and, you know, my energy to read things.
Right. I grew up in the Bronx, right off of Fordham Road.
Yep.
So, I understand
absolutely.
You grow up fast. At a young age, you just pay attention to everything, right? You can assess a situation at a very young age, fast.
Exactly.
I got a homeboy named Jeff. He's from Brooklyn Ave, between Church and Linden.
Yep.
He wanted me to ask you, do you remember the Jerk Chicken spot?
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's where he at. Where he at is right around the corner from my house. Like Brooklyn Ave is walking distance. And yeah, there's jerk chicken spots all over there. But yeah, I have a whole crew that I grew up with all up Brooklyn Ave from between Church and Snyder, all over there. Yeah. That's a block up from where he at. You know? Yeah.
That's what he told me. Like, make sure you ask him about that chicken spot. You know.
Yeah.
But 1989 was the year the Youngest in Charge dropped.
Yeah, the Youngest in Charge as an album dropped in 1989. The single I Got It Made dropped in 88 prior. Yeah. So the end of 88, going into 89, and then it led into the album. That year of 89, a lot of legends dropped that year. Just to name a few, I got in 1989, a bunch of legends dropped that year, right? Special Ed, of course, you dropped Youngest in Charge, Beastie Boys, De La Soul dropped 3 Feet High and Rising, Jungle Brothers, EPMD, Boogie Down Productions, Big Daddy Kane, Queen Latifah, Biz Markie, Kool Moe Dee, Roxanne Shante, MC Lyte, LL Cool J. That's just to name some of them. Right. What was the level of competition there? Like, did y'all have like camaraderie around that time? Because nowadays, rappers really don't. Right. I think it was fun competition. Like, we all knew we were competing, but we was in a new industry. There was enough room for everybody to win. Yeah. So we more so, it was a friendly competition. Yeah. I don't think there's many artists that, you know, had bad energy in those days unless they had something personal going on. Because at a certain point, New York artists did not really mesh with each other. Like, yeah, I think for the most part, the competitiveness of the industry grew on a whole. Yeah. And it got more cutthroat. And you know, it was more money involved. It was higher stakes and it was more greed, more different characters coming into the equation. Yeah. More street characters coming, just being thrown into an industry. So I think it was a lot of grabbing, a lot of crabs in the barrel for a minute, but you know, it panned out. You know, those with sense made sense. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah. Now, we know you were known for having a lot of female groupies, of course, right? Mm-hmm. But on another note, I always want to ask guys that were like big with the women, how did y'all feel when the guys were being too extra with y'all? Like, not in the disrespect, but you know, they want pictures, they want to be around y'all. How did y'all feel when the guys were doing that? Well, I feel like men and women are fans alike, right? And I wouldn't want to discriminate or be a horn dog just because it's a female, I'm cool with it, but a guy, I'm like, get out of here. That's whack. Oh, so you didn't? Nah, you gotta respect everybody as a fan. They're the ones supporting and buying your album. I got a guy the other day 50-something-year-old white guy asked me to autograph his arm, he gonna tattoo it.
Wow.
And if I saw this guy walking down the street, I wouldn't even think he knew who I was, much less wanted me to write on his arm. Like, you feel me? So it really didn't matter too much if it was male or female. My duty as an artist, I feel like, is when you put yourself out there, that comes with the territory. Yeah. That's a part of your job. So if you actually doing that and denying people, you're basically an asshole.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you always kept it humble. I remember the first time I met you, I don't know if you remember this, I was doing a street DVD. I was working on volume 2. I had Beanie Siegel. Danny Kane, one of the girls, Dee Woods, I think it was, she came to Eastland Mall. Do you remember that?
In Eastland Mall when they still had it open?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was back then when I met you. I went down there, I got a drop from her. My boy hit me like, man, you better come up here. There might be some people that run through. I ran into you and I was like, yo, Special A, you mind if you give me a drop? You gave me a drop. You shouted my name out and everything. And then when I saw you next time, I think it was at my party, and you remembered my name, and I was like, yo, how does he remember this? Like,
well, see, what happens is that's the same thing when, like, the same thing you asking me about whether it's a male or female fan wanting your attention or time or a photo.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with media for me. I feel like anybody that's putting their time and energy into putting media out into the universe is using some level of effort and energy.
Right.
So if I participate, they're going to go and promote me.
Facts.
They're going to go and spread my name and my legacy. So why not? I don't care if it's a newspaper, a pamphlet, or a magazine, or an online. They're going to get up and go out and start preaching your word.
That's a jewel, because you don't know how many people I told that to, and then you're the first interview that I'm doing for launching my YouTube page. And that's because of how cool and humble. Every time I ran into you, you've always been on that level.
Amen.
So I was like, I got to jump it off with him.
Well, I think a lot of older artists get that, and I think they need to kind of mentor younger artists out now, because they have this certain attitude as if, you know, they're really inexperienced and then make their own rules. I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that.
Right.
It's a system to all of this. It's promotion, it's marketing, it's putting yourself out there in the right image, the right light.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to be, once again, looked at as an asshole. You want to be an artist that's respected, people like you, or not. Some people may want to be, you know, the Hogan, the evil one, or whatever. I don't know.
Right.
But pick your character. But if you're in this industry, no matter what your character is, you have to participate in the game. And
word spreads fast about how you act.
Oh, absolutely. It's just like with shows or anything else. Promoters will say, you know, his show was whack, and you know, and then other promoters won't hire you. So word gets around. It's a small industry, and now with the internet, it's even smaller.
Yeah. You mentioned Pac, right? In the movie Juice.
Absolutely.
You mentioned Pac. Did your relationship with him strain with the East Coast and West Coast beef?
No, actually. What happened was the beef came and then he went to jail. So there was really limited communication. So when he came home, he went straight to death row, straight to LA.
Right.
And really wasn't coming back and forth and connecting.
Yeah.
So I really didn't see him all the way up until he passed.
Wow.
But I was out there. I went to LA, and I'm gonna tell you, I was staying with my boys in Hollywood, and we was supposed to go to this party.
Yeah.
And you know, I must have passed out. They left me in the crib. I woke up tight.
Yeah.
I woke up tight. I woke up so tight, I walked like, 2 a.m. to Denny's by myself at 8, because I was starving. I was like, all right. And then when I got back to the crib, they came back in all drunk, all niced up, talking about, hey, we seen Pac. I was tight. I was like, yo, son, you left me in the crib and y'all see Pac. And that was the last time they seen Pac.
What year was that?
The year he passed.
The year he passed?
Yes,
oh, wow.
Sir.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So, you know, I almost seen him before he passed, but I didn't get an opportunity to.
Yeah.
But he went from jail straight to death row, straight into the madness and the whirlwind. You know, I pray for him. I pray for Biggie and everybody involved, man. There's a lot more people dying right now.
Yeah, it's way more like, it's almost a regular thing now.
It's an epidemic.
It is,
It's what it
That's
is.
a good word to use, for sure. In your first few albums, you really didn't use a lot of features, except for like, you know, your people around.
Yeah.
Like 40, Little Sean.
Yeah. Well, I didn't use a lot of features because, to be truthful, in those days, artists really worked with their own camps,
right,
and worked with themselves. We didn't collaborate as much as they do now. Now I think you have to collaborate in order to not just grow your audience, but in order to, you know, sell more records or more streams.
It became more business than anything.
They go right into a feature where back in the days you had to establish yourself as your own artist and your camp. Like, for instance, you know, Public Enemy and that camp out there, Hank Shockley and them, they did Leaders of the New School. You know what I'm saying? And you got EPMD in them, and they got the Hit Squad and Das Effects in them. So everyone kind of, you know, made their own camp and featured with each other to bring them up as a camp. But now artists from everywhere are featuring with each other to grow their fan bases in different markets.
Was that the reason? Is that one of the reasons why y'all hooked up with the Crooklyn Dodgers? Is that?
Well, that was because of the movie Crooklyn. Spike Lee made the movie Crooklyn, and he hired Q-Tip and Ali Shaheed to do the production. And he told them, you know, what artists you want to put on this, you know, and they called me up, called Buckshot and Ace, and we was all like, hell yeah. And the rest is history. We recorded together at my studio, Dollar Cab Lab in Brooklyn. And then took it to the city to get mixed and finish it up.
You were early on, like, expanding out, not just being a rapper. Like, you had a studio. You were pretty smart with, you also audited your label, didn't you?
Absolutely.
So how did you, like, of course you were ahead of your time, like we could hear that with your lyrics and everything, but how did you get into that? Like, was somebody schooling you? Of course you were the youngest of your brothers, like how did that?
Well, just learning from life and learning not to get taken advantage of is what taught me that. So when I saw that things didn't add up, and then I asked the questions. Look, I count very well.
Since you got both of your hands, you could
right. I got all 10 fingers.
Right.
So, and it didn't add up. So basically, that's how we got into the audit situation with the court situation, because they wasn't coming up with the money that I wanted to see. So we got to figure this out, and we still figuring it out right now. Like the same people, like 35 years later, like we've been back and forth going through this and that, but then they still have certain administrative rights for a certain period of time. So they're supposed to be doing the work, collecting money, and paying me.
So, what is it, like a 30-year span or something like that?
30, 35, back in the day? Till copyright rescission, which is the law. But at the end of the day, you know, those are the situations that a lot of artists got into and didn't really know how to navigate. And if you don't have the money or spend the money on a lawyer to really dig into it, you know, it's costly, it's lengthy process. Sometimes they don't want to get involved if it's like, you know, no upfront money. So it, you know, good luck to all those artists out there.
Your heritage is Jamaican?
My mother and father from Kingston, Jamaica, and I have 4.
Oh, they're from the heart of the city.
I have 4 brothers, all born in Kingston, Jamaica.
Really?
They came here when I was about 4 years old.
Oh, you were born there?
I was born in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
All of my parents and my brothers, the rest of my family was born in Jamaica.
Oh, wow.
And I have a brother that's 1 year older than me, born in Kingston, Jamaica,
Because I'm sure for the first 3, you had songs that like, you had with Bounty Killer, Sizzler, and
my brother Cooley. That was all intentional.
I figured that.
When I make a project, I make a span of different sounds and a variety of vibes. So I always make sure I put some reggae vibes somewhere on my album.
The first 2 ended with reggae style songs.
Well, I usually put them wherever up towards the end of the album so that the hip hop could absorb the hip hop, and then I got a treat for y'all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And you did say you weren't afraid to like try different beats and stuff. The song Club Scene.
Right.
That had, I don't even understand how did you who did that beat?
Howie T.
Oh, Howie T.
Shout outs to Hitman Howie T, man.
Who's that girl on the feature? Is that Roxanne Shante?
No, that is actually his oldest daughter's mom. He was developing her as an artist, and she actually had a project that they were recording.
Does she say Roxanne in the song?
No, that's not Roxanne.
No, but does she say that in the song? Like, I don't know where I got that from.
In the song? Not that song.
Okay.
No, I actually wrote when I was 15, I wrote a record for the real Roxanne.
Really? Oh, so you used to ghostwrite too?
Yeah, well, I started to, but then they didn't pay me, so I stopped. Yeah.
Which is a misconception because, in that era, ghostwriters, they made it seem like ghostwriters were like the cardinal sin, which is why Lou Chin had the beef.
Right. But what happened was they asked me if I wanted to write a song for the real Roxanne, and I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Let me get my writing and get my money on. I'm thinking I'm rich. I'm here, Roxanne all over the radio. I'm like, Roxanne, okay. So I wrote this song. It was called Don't Even Feel It. And we recorded it. She recorded it. It came out on the album. I think my credit is there, yeah. My credit is there, but I just never got no money for it.
Or nothing.
I never got a penny for it, bro. So I was like, nah, fuck this. I'm not. And I was a kid. I was like, yo,
you were about your business early.
Yeah, I'm like, hold on, y'all taking advantage of me like this? Y'all don't want to pay me for this fucking writing. Y'all don't want to pay me for this. Like, what the fuck is going on?
But so like writing or having a ghostwriter back then, was it just okay for women?
Yeah, pretty much I think so. I think women was okay with it. I don't really know of any guys.
Biz Markie.
Well, yeah, Kane wrote his, but Biz was funky. Biz was a beatbox DJ.
And it wasn't like
Kane was a DJ as well too, so I think it was more like a crew thing where, all right, we gonna blow you up, give you some hot shit.
It worked.
Exactly.
It worked.
Yeah, rest in peace to Biz, man. That's my
rest
big
in
bro
peace to
too.
Biz. He was in Charlotte a lot too.
A lot too, yeah. I had him out here as well when I used to do my nights down at Privilege.
Yeah. Biz. A lot of people come to the city. Charlotte's one of them cities where you'll go to a club and you'll run into people and you're like, wait a minute, like, what are you doing? It's not like they're just here chilling.
Right.
But did you hear about Quentin Miller recently talking about he wrote for Nas? I'm not sure if you heard about that. He just recently said that on, I think it was a Vlad interview.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, but the thing is, people don't understand when somebody says they wrote on a song, it could just be a hook.
Right.
Because I don't
well, then he need to say that then.
But and then when they asked him about it, he kind of didn't want to answer it further. And it's like, well, but then again, there's a lot of clout chasing now too, because they know that'll blow up. Like everybody's saying, the headlines were like, oh, Quentin Miller said he wrote for Nas. And it's like, come on, bro.
Right.
Like, that's just something I can't believe.
And that could also be wrote music.
What do you mean?
The musical side, the publishing, the musical portion, that's a writer. That's a musical, you in the music
Like you mean like
side.
production?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the production side.
Yeah, because he didn't go into detail, and it's like, why would you not go into detail, but then at the same time, just leave it out in the open and everybody will talk about it? Because it sounds good that you wrote for Nas, but
just controversy, just everyone trying to get attention. And that's the thing, man. That's the thing with me, man. I'm done with the whole attention seeking game. Like, that's really what it boils down to. How can I get the most attention? What can I do to get the most attention? And that's not really what it's supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about the art, the craft.
Yeah.
How good is your song? You know what I'm saying? How hot is your song? How hot is the beat? How hot is your lyrics? Not, look at me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm on fire, I got flame retardant coat, you know what I'm saying? That's what they doing now. It's shock value as opposed to product value.
Do you take away from a rapper if you know he has writers? Like if he's writing his actual lyrics, like his bars?
Oh, that's a performer. If you are performing other people's lyrics, you're a performer. So, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of performers out there. I mean,
since the beginning of time, right?
Yeah, this whole industry is full of a lot of performers and artists.
Right.
So
but you don't knock it? Or you just learn how to separate the two?
Yeah, I separate. You see, when someone is a performer, you know what they're doing.
Right.
An artist, you'll get them props like, yo,
yeah,
that was hot. You know what you did there, blah, blah, blah. But you can't say that was hot what you did there to somebody that's performing.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you think the music industry is dirtier now or back then?
Dirtier? Man, it's always dirty because it's different types of dirt. Back then they was doing the Motown to everybody.
What's the Motown for people who don't understand
the
that lingo?
Motown for people that don't know is I'm gonna give you $100. You're gonna record this record and walk away
with just your $100.
Right, with your $100. Work for hire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So basically that's what that was about. And a lot of artists were doing that, and that was very rampant through reggae music too. For years, like
really,
yeah,
so
they just be giving
them
a little couple dollars. They record the song and that's it. You know what I'm saying? They have nothing to do with it. They don't get the residuals, the publishing, nothing. They, the record label pretty much buys the work.
So
it's a work for hire.
Who do you blame in that sense? Is it the artist's fault for not knowing the business, or is it predatory on the record label?
Nah, it's predatory from the record labels and the companies, because the artists have no idea what this terms are, what's normal in the business. There is nothing normal. It's whatever you agree to. So, artists can't automatically know. I was 15 years old when I got a contract.
Yeah.
How was I supposed to know what to expect?
Yeah.
I had to, accept a lot of shit. I was questioning, like, why is this? That's what they do. That's what they do.
Did they provide you a lawyer?
Yeah, no, they didn't provide me a lawyer, but I had some gentlemen that wanted to represent me as management, and they found me a lawyer. But it turned out the lawyers knew each other anyway. So it was like, that's,
Yeah, that's
sketchy.
crazy. It's very sketchy.
Yeah.
How important is it to audit your label?
Well, it just depends if everything is adding up, if it's making sense or not. If you feel, well, now things are more digitized and there's more, up to the minute reporting.
Yeah.
So it's harder to cook books. But back then, you're talking about no internet, no digital, anything.
Yeah.
This is pre-SoundScan. So the label I was on, they manufactured their own records. They had their pressing plant. They were their own distributor, so they sent the records out, and they were their own record label. So
everything's pretty much in-house.
Everyone was in-house, so you can't say nothing. What can you say?
Yeah. That's rough.
Yeah.
We recently lost Trugoy from De La Soul.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Plug 2, rest in peace. Did you have a relationship with them?
Yeah, absolutely. When I came out is when De La came out. We did a lot of touring together. In the early days, it was like me, De La, Public Enemy, Queen Latifah, Big Daddy Kane, Slick Rick. Like, we were all out together a lot.
Yeah.
And man, rest in peace, Trugoy. Shit real. I'm seeing a lot of people my age.
Yes.
Maybe a few years older, a few years younger.
Yeah.
They dropping, and
with a lot of life left to live, like.
Right. This is people that would still be considered young. For real.
So in the aspect of life, you're young.
Right.
People literally can go to 90, 95, and it is young. It's very young.
Yeah, man. So, I've been just trying to stay healthy, man. Just trying to keep myself healthy with what I put in my body, what I ingest. That's all. Yeah. For years we grew up eating chips and candy and all kind of shit. We ain't know what was in it.
Yeah.
And now we finding out that all this shit is crazy.
It is.
So we just trying to make changes that's sensible.
Yeah.
Health is everything. Health is wealth.
Shout out to Styles P. I don't know if you're familiar with, he's got the juice bars and everything.
Oh, absolutely.
Have you visited any of them yet?
I haven't been to the juice bar, but I used to go out there to Yonkers a lot and fool with them up in the studio, D Block and all that. So shout out Styles, Jada, Chic and all that, yeah.
A lot of people that I know that grew up in that same era said, Special Ed, you'll see him pop out anywhere by himself.
Hell yeah.
Like, because you're not Hollywood at all, which is weird because you expect somebody with your type of status to be Hollywood for the most part, like you would, but you're not at all. Like,
well, I think it's just being grounded, growing up in Brooklyn and growing up under the conditions, having older brothers to keep me humble and grounded, and just seeing life for what it is, man. Like, I don't look at this whole paparazzi smoke and mirror shit. Like, life is real, everybody is real. And no matter what they look like on camera, when the light go off and the camera go off, they gotta get home to their families, and they walk like everybody else.
Yeah.
So people could. it's all for attention. This is the same point I'm trying to make. So they do a lot of things for attention, but at the end of the day, we are regular people with parents, children, spouses, whatever.
Yeah.
We're family members.
Do you still love hip hop?
Yeah, I love hip hop, but it's not all hip hop. You know what I'm saying? But I do love hip hop because hip hop can educate you. It can unite you. It can inspire you, motivate you. Hip hop does a lot. That's why it is the biggest industry on this planet.
Yeah.
You know, as far as entertainment wise, it's the biggest music genre, biggest streaming, biggest genre in streaming. Everything like it's out. Hip hop is everything in music. So they just don't treat it like that.
Yeah.
You understand? They treat it like, you know, it's some second class citizen shit, but hip hop is really the shit.
Like, how do you feel about the Grammys?
I don't feel about no Grammys. I don't give a fuck about no Grammys.
You don't care about
I never did.
Yeah.
Back in the days when they were disrespectful to rap artists and didn't want to televise any of the awards, much less give any. And I've never been considered for any anyway, so I don't give a fuck about no Grammys. Like,
It's all politics.
It's one organization. There's a million. Everyone has a network, everyone has an organization, everyone has an LLC, and everyone has a fucking opinion.
Yeah.
So that's what it boils down to. It's another opinion. And the way they politicize their whole shit, I just don't get.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be about the music and the quality of the music, not, you know, the most spins or who did the pay to play or, you know, who cheated on the streams. Or,
Yeah.
Like, we don't care about that shit. We want real music, real people, and we want y'all to respect the biggest genre. How the fuck we making the most money, but y'all want to disrespect us on
Big time.
on the platform? So I don't really respect none of them that don't respect me.
Yeah.
Period. That's how life is. You don't respect me, I don't respect you.
Yeah. Reciprocation, basically.
Right,
I'll
right.
treat you the same way you're gonna treat me.
Exactly. Accordingly.
Yeah. Because I think it was Fresh Prince and DJ Jazzy Jeff were the first ones to win a Grammy, but they didn't even show it on the Grammys. Like, it was kind of like you got a Grammy, but just, all right, take your Grammy and keep it moving.
Right, that
type.
was a part of it. And
Yeah.
and then maybe hip hop wasn't as big, but
That's true.
over the years and coming up to now, like, it is the biggest genre, period, but yet they don't revere or hold the artists up the way they do the rock stars.
Yeah.
And the R&B stars.
Yeah.
And the country stars. You understand?
Right.
They give us hell. They give us higher insurance at shows. We can't do shit because they make it impossible.
Yeah.
But, you know, they let Live Nation do what the fuck they want. You
Yeah.
feel me? So, you know, we're just dealing with politics and how to get around and how to survive in it.
But do we also have, like, where do we take accountability? Because a lot of Source Awards and different type of awards that we have, things pop off.
Yeah, well, once again, poorly managed.
Yeah.
People trying to do ghetto shit. You know, you have to do legitimate business in this world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, you have a lot of people came in off the streets into the industry with no filter, you
True.
know, and no understanding of the irreparable damage that being an asshole can cause, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of them dead or in jail from the bullshit that they was dealing with and doing. So, you know, rest in peace, you know, it ain't worth death, but, you know, we gotta be careful how we moving out here. This is a real world with real consequences.
Yeah.
And sometimes people feel like I'm protected because I'm an entertainer, I'm a superstar, I got so much money. But, you know, money can't save you from everything.
Not at all, like, at all. So are you familiar, like, do you listen to the new generation of rap?
I can't say that I do, man. I don't really listen to shit, to be honest with you, man. I listen to myself. I listen to my thoughts, and I try to figure shit out. I don't really have an interest in what nobody's saying because they're not saying nothing new, nothing progressive. When they do that, then I'll listen. When I hear some shit that's about educating or freeing my people, then I'll listen. I don't want to hear about nobody fucking money. I got my own money. I don't need to hear about your money. It ain't doing nothing for me. I don't care about your house, your car, none of that shit. I got all that shit too. Rap about something new.
As a fan of hip hop, that sucks to hear that you're not enjoying hip hop.
Nah, man, I'm not. I ain't enjoying shit. I don't listen to it. I don't watch it on TV, none of that shit. The only time I participate is when they paying me. I'm gonna be straight up because it's not, I'm not in competition. I'm not looking for attention. I'm not in the whole look at me game. I'm not, out here in the foul shit that's going on.
When did this happen? Like, was it like a switch that just went off, or?
Pretty much. I mean, just seeing the temperature out there and all the shit going on, and then coming into my own realization, turning 50. I'm 50 years old. I started at 15. So I had to look at myself from 15 to 50 and see, well, what have I done? How did I do it? And, what could I have done differently, and why things happen the way they happen, And is this right or is this wrong? Like, where do I want to be? So I had to assess my life and everything and just realize a lot of things. That's one of the reasons why I stopped drinking many, many years ago. I was still in the clubs. I was still running around, but I wasn't drinking because I made that decision then. So it's just about making decisions and just maturing, and being and not lying to yourself. That's the main thing. A lot of people still allow people to influence them, peer pressure. They lie to themselves. They lie to other people, and it's just a habit. It's just like everyday shit. Like people lie about dumb shit. So you have to learn to start living in the truth. Stop lying to yourself, because if you believe in your own lies, then you're gonna lie to anybody. You know what I'm saying? So, I just had to cut all that shit short. The ways I was living, just running around like, with a lack of responsibility, even though I took care of my children. I think that I do a great job as a father, but I didn't have the sensitivity side of me because I didn't really grow up with too much sensitivity, you know what I'm saying? So
being Jamaican, is it because of your background? Because I'm African and our parents were not sensitive at all.
Right, so I don't know if it was just the cultural side of it, but maybe the environment, my brothers, just life just made me this kind of way. So if anything, the only thing I probably would change was being more sensitive towards children, my own children, other people's children, just period. People, maybe some people, I could be harsh. You know what I'm saying? Cause shit real, and I have a low tolerance for bullshit. So, I'm nice and all that when I'm in my special ed zone and I'm in my entertainment shit. But when that shit go off and I'm gone, life get real. And I've been a real parent too. I wasn't an easy parent, cause I want my kids to know, kind of get a real view of this life.
I'm sure they appreciate that as they get older too. Because my parents were hard on me and I didn't care. Like I didn't care for it when I was young, but now,
you understand.
Shout out to them 100%.
And that's and the same thing I say, man. Like with my parents, like we gave them hell. Like I can't even believe all the shit we did, and they handled it with grace. They still alive. I love them. I see them all the time. And I apologize.
That's a blessing.
I apologize all the time for the shit we done did. Like I apologize constantly. I apologize to my grandmother before she passed, and just learning and maturing and learning to apologize, because a lot of people do shit and will never apologize. So it's about that humility too, and being able to say, yo, I was wrong. I apologize.
Accountability.
Sure, I'm sure. I mean, I started from 15. I could imagine all the shit I done did, the amount of times I probably was an asshole as a kid with some money or just running my mouth or whatever, and probably hurt people's feelings.
I couldn't imagine being who you were at 15. Man.
Right, and then growing up this way all my life, right? Having to make decisions, run things pretty much. So, I have to kind of still keep that in perspective and be a certain way with people, so I don't come across a certain way, because I'm about it too. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I got to get it done. I don't like to hear shit. I like to, you know, I'm a certain way. So thanks to everybody that dealt with that.
Yeah. So if you could go back to 15-year-old special ed, right? Mm-hmm. What would you tell him?
15-year-old special ed.
With the knowledge you have today, what would you go back and tell him?
Okay. I would tell myself, stop wasting my time with all those people that don't give a fuck about me. Stop wasting my time with all those women that don't care about me. And just be sensible about my decisions, you know. That's about it.
Yeah.
Just stop wasting my time and money. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know.
It's the only luxury we have that we don't get back.
Time, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was a learning experience. It was fun. I can say I did a lot of shit, but then a lot of it was like, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Why did I do that? You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
I mean, we all, we live and we learn.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about.
Yeah. What do you got going on? You got a nonprofit?
Yeah, I have a nonprofit foundation. It's called Special Ed Arts and Literacy. We refer to it as SEAL, S-E-A-L, Special Ed Arts and Literacy. And basically, that's what we cover: arts and literacy, STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. We've been partnering with some organizations, one being the Hip Hop Alliance, and we're leading the charge on the Stop the Violence movement with KRS, Curtis Blow, Chuck D, and the rest of the HHA. And basically with everything that's been going on and with the over 200 deaths of rap artists, I saw it on YouTube. You just go on YouTube. Yeah. Over 200 rappers dead in like 2 years, 3 years. That's crazy.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, that's high mortality rate. That's like, why would you want to even be a rapper if they all getting assassinated? You understand?
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, that's
I don't think I've ever heard the number.
See, and that's why we decided to revive the Stop the Violence movement, because of the need for it. I think the kids are going astray.
Yeah.
They're losing their sense of values and principles and morality, and they're not respecting life in the way that they should.
How do you feel about the rappers nowadays? Because they'll smoke on dead ops. Like if they have an enemy who dies, let's just say the guy's name is John, they'll be like, we're smoking on John tonight. Like how do you feel about that?
That's disrespectful, and that's a part of what I'm talking about. Like even as a young artist, you still have to have some koof. You have to have some tact. Yeah. You have to have some sense, because you still got to get home safe too. Yeah. And you can't just be running around here inviting all kinds of violence and energy to yourself. You know, you have to survive out here and have a career. Live long enough to spend your earnings and enjoy it. Live long enough to have a family, have children, and watch them grow. You know, and when you behave that way, you lessen your chance. You know, you go into a higher risk bracket, and it's like, you can't be out here just talking shit. Yeah. People, you know, people do stuff. Yeah. Like, this is not just go on TV or for shock value and disrespect anybody you can, or whoever makes the most sense to you at the time, or whoever will make the biggest reaction. That's not how this works.
We live in an era of clout though. Like everybody is just trying to get some attention.
Yeah, but that's why this is happening. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not participating in the look at me, you know, I need attention game. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, you know, that's why I try to help other artists through my organization. I do mentorship. I go to schools, I talk to kids, and, you know, teach them about not just hip hop, but mentality and perspective and behavior. You know what I'm saying? How to be out here before they come into this hip hop game with the rah-rah and, you know, end up in a bad situation. So I just try to teach them about how to enter this arena.
All right, so then we're gonna, I got these questions here that are this or that, right? So you just basically pick which one. You gotta pick one or the other, right? You don't have to, but you could just say you don't want to answer the question. But as far as hype men, right? Spliff Star or Flavor Flav?
Flavor is the original.
Flavor Flav?
But see, once again, it's the same dynamic that they brought to both to the group. You know, they brought the same Flavor Flav dynamic to what Busta's doing with Spliff. So
yeah,
you know. But
so
Flav the OG though, but I think Spliff definitely got the timing and the showmanship down. But you know, I'm just giving props to the OG of it all. Flav is the original hype man.
For sure. Slick Rick's The Show or DJ Kool Let Me Clear My Throat?
Slick Rick The Show.
Really?
Yeah. I don't even know Let Me Clear My Throat like that. Yeah, Kool My Man and all that, but that's the only part I know.
Really?
Yeah.
So I guess maybe because that's my song. Like,
see,
when
it's era though.
True.
It's era when it came out, where you was, the feeling it gave you.
Yeah.
You might have been in the most poppin'est environment and it was like, and that's embedded.
Yeah.
For me, The Show, and that's embedded. So for me, it's like, no question, The Show.
I thought I was going to stomp you on that. That was a no-brainer for you.
That's a no-brainer, man.
Really?
Kool My Man and all that,
for
but
sure,
that shit ain't got nothing on The Show for me.
Yeah.
Well, at 50, see?
Yeah. True. As far as name brand in your era, Tommy Hilfiger or Polo?
Polo.
Yeah?
Yeah, ain't nobody fuck with Tommy like that. We did at first, but then the rumors came out how racist he was and blah, blah, blah. And we was like, all right, fuck Tommy.
Because didn't you have exclusive Tommy Hilfiger?
I had some, my album cover was Tommy.
That's what I thought, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's Tommy down.
But you also had pictures in all Polo also.
Yeah. I had pictures in everything, all Nike,
all Adidas.
Think About It, all Adidas,
what album? Right. No, it wasn't an album.
Think About It, single cover.
Single cover, that's what it was,
I had
all Adidas,
everything, socks, all that shit.
From head to toe.
Yeah, that's how I do it. That's how we always did it, so.
That's why a lot of people thought you had a stylist, because the stuff you would have on is like, hold up, man, there's no way he's dressing himself.
Yeah, that's how I didn't. That's how I bought my shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we was on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to the low lifes, man.
Low lifes, yeah. The crazy thing is, Harlem gets the rep for being best dressed. But Brooklyn they be on point too.
Yeah. Well, New York period is like a competition of fashion.
Yeah.
So, you know.
They be shitting on the Bronx though.
Well, yeah.
But all right, so Video Music Box or The Box?
Video Music Box, man.
Yeah.
Uncle Ralph, man. Fuck
Ralph
that.
McDaniels,
Ralph McDaniels, man.
Yeah, y'all had some a classic episode. One of those was Super Cat and them that y'all performed. Do you remember that episode? It was you, Super Cat, Little Sean.
Oh, and the Ark.
I'm not
Probably
sure.
in Brooklyn in the Ark. Damn,
but y'all performing.
That was a long time ago. Yeah,
it was a minute ago. Yeah.
That's
I did my research, man. So I got to make sure I'm on point with you.
Right.
Yeah. Prince or Michael Jackson?
That's a rough one. That's a tie for me.
Really?
That's a tie for me, man.
Why?
Because a lot of people don't know about, Michael's musical capabilities. They just know him as the singing part, but he did a lot of production as well. And Prince was a master of all instruments, but I think as far as hits wise, and they was pretty even keel, man, going back and forth with the hits. I think they had a nice, healthy competition as well.
All right.
Yeah.
So I have 3 options: Jordan, Kobe, or LeBron.
Fuck all them niggas, man.
Really?
I don't even watch sports.
Yeah?
I don't give a fuck. Promise.
For real? I wasn't expecting that.
Nah, it don't matter to me, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna promise you I haven't seen more than 1-2 games of either one of them.
Yeah.
And I don't really have an interest in it.
Yeah.
I'm be honest with you. I've never had time for sports. Sports don't benefit me in no way. I don't make no money off sports.
Yeah.
And I don't have that type of time to sit there and watch motherfuckers running back and forth.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
A New York slice of pizza or a beef patty? Or you can say chicken patty because you don't eat beef, right?
No more. I don't eat beef no more. But I do a slice of pizza on this one.
Yeah.
Just because I don't eat the beef patties no more.
Yeah.
I eat me a chicken patty, but I think a pizza probably better than a chicken patty for me.
Yeah, for sure. Like, because if I'm going to go patty, I got to go beef patty.
It got to be beef, right? Because the chicken patty tastes kind of curry-like.
It just it don't hit the same.
Right.
Yeah. Ether or Takeover?
I ain't really get too much into neither one of them shits. Those my guys and all that, but as far as saying they pitted against each other and this and that and the third, I wasn't really riding with all that shit. I was just like, they making dope records. Yeah, this is dope, that's dope. So I think on a whole, they both had dope projects. I just don't know that I picked one over the other ever. Yeah. Because they both my boys, like, y'all work it out. Y'all make all the money. Y'all make all that money beefing.
For sure. Yeah. Queen Latifah or MC Lyte?
Once again, very identical dynamics to me. Those my sisters from the same time zone, same place, same career heights, Hollywood, all that good shit. You know, and we all tight. Like, I don't know what to say. I probably seen Lyte more in the last few years though, but you know, I love them both. Yeah. Yeah.
That's anything else you want to touch on?
I'm good, shit. Yeah. Anything we need to talk about, Jamaica?
You want to talk about the nonprofit, what it does?
I think he talked.
Yeah. And
we spoke about the nonprofit already.
Yeah, we did. STEM, SEAL, arts literacy, hip hop, stop the violence. Yeah.
Were you on self-destruction?
No. I wasn't on self-destruction and I was tight. And that's one of the reasons why I'm glad that I picked this shit back up and helped to launch it again.
In my mind, I always put you in that cast.
Yeah, man, I put myself in that motherfucker. I was like, yo, when I saw the video, I was like, hold up, when the fuck they did this?
Yeah.
It was, and that's why when I did Crooklyn, I felt like I finally got myself a nice collab because, you know, I felt like I wanted to be more involved with the hip hop community. Yeah. But I felt like a few things. I felt like, for one, because I was the young kid, that was one thing. And then because I was in Brooklyn, on some Brooklyn shit with all these little bunch of young motherfuckers that, you know, that was part of my barrier. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then there was even times where, like, I had a 18th birthday party and my friends couldn't get in because it was 21 to get in the club. I'm like, but I'm having the fucking party. I'm 18. So, you know, it's barriers that I had to go through starting that young. And, you know, I mean, by the time you're 21, then, you know, most of that shit go away. But, you know, I had to be dealt with like I was the kid, dealt with like that. So it was a lot of times that forced me or caused me to be a little extra because I had to let motherfuckers know, like, yo, it's not that type of party, boss. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, that's the story of my life. Yeah. Is having to tell a motherfucker it's not that type of party.
You had an issue with the Decepticons before?
Nah, I never had an issue with them. I actually know a lot of them. However, there was one day in particular that a whole bunch of them, maybe like 30 of them, just walked up on my block on Church Avenue. And, you know, I came outside and it was just like, I walked through them kind of like, yeah, what's up? Y'all good? Yeah. Just greeting them really like, yeah, trying to see what y'all really want. Yeah. But they ain't say nothing. They ain't do nothing. Nobody swung. Nobody did nothing. And they left. I was like, all right. Yeah. New York is... Yeah, but I think that's the point is they wanted to check my temperature and I checked their temperature. Yeah. You know, because they ain't know what was what. I'm coming out my crib and I'm walking through everybody. Yeah. Like a puzzle. And I think that alone kind of like, okay, maybe he real. And I was motherfucking real. So that was it. You, especially you come in front of my house. Like, please don't do that. Everybody, please don't do that. Don't do that.
It's a bad idea for anybody.
Yeah, bad idea, especially now, please. Yeah. I got certain places I live. If I even see you in a radius. Yeah.
Now New York is like flooded with gangs.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. This gang epidemic is unfortunate. And it's been propelled by the media since Colors, since NWA. It's been perpetuated through television, the movies, and music. You know, entertainment. And it has been glorified, glamorized, and that's why, you know, people that have no affiliation, no connection, are trying to now claim some sort of gang. Yeah. And it's unfortunate, man. It's sad that there's so many followers instead of leaders, and everybody wants, once again, attention. Yeah. And that's what it boils down to.
It's the worst drug known to man right now.
Yeah.
Attention.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you, man. Like here at Mez Drinks and Chill. Oh, you got one?
Oh yeah.
Oh, what's up with the Hip Hop Museum?
Well, the National Hip Hop Museum is inducting me on March 11th, along with Drez from Black Sheep and CL Smooth in Washington, D.C. And we'll be doing that. And it was good. It's good to be recognized. And that's a museum, so at the end of the day, if they're gonna be a hip hop museum, then, you know, they need to recognize certain things, certain people.
Yeah.
And they have been doing that. They've been inducting many other artists prior to this year, but this year's inductees are myself, Drez, and CL Smooth. And last week we just lit up the Empire State Building red, black, and green.
I seen that on your page. You posted that, didn't you?
Yeah, for Black History Month. Fashion for All Foundation and myself and some hip hop icons, Grandmaster Flash, Roxanne Shante, a bunch of us, Red Alert, Ralph McDaniels, pulled the lever and lit up the Empire State Building red, black, and green. And for me as a New Yorker, that's an honor. You know, for one, to be able to light it up, but for two, red, black, and green.
Yeah.
And I probably made everybody say that shit. Like everybody that talked about it, what color was it? What color it's gonna be? What color? I had to hear that shit a million times just to realize it in my mind, because I didn't think that, you know, in all the years that I've been alive and dealt with, you know, real life racism and just real life reality, just to be able to do something like that was an honor. So,
especially in your hometown.
Yeah, my hometown. Yeah, that's the Empire State Building. That's big.
Yeah.
So, shout out to Empire State Building, and then we will have pictures up there, and they have a little walk of fame upstairs, so you'll be able to see me up in the Empire State Building when you go on your next sightseeing tour.
Oh yeah, that's dope. That's really dope.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah, thank you, man. Just,
sure.
You know, like I said, man, I've been doing this for shit, I've stopped counting. Yeah, long time.
Yeah, it's been over 30 years.
Yeah, over 30 years. 35 years.
Yeah,
35 years. So it's nice to be appreciated by something that makes sense to me. By something in my community, something tangible that I could see, something that I know and grew up with, and not just, you know, the opinion of a booklet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Somebody's in close to your life is around that age too, right? Somebody was pregnant around the time you were recording your first album?
Yeah, that's Howie T's oldest daughter. She was born, Kazan from the club scene, his daughter's mom. So.
Oh, damn, that circled right back around. The lady from the club scene song that I thought was Roxanne Shante, that's who that was pregnant at the time when you were recording? Okay.
Yes, at the time I was recording The Youngest in Charge, Dee Dee is her name. So Dee Dee was Howie's, that was the baby.
Yeah.
So Nastasha, we just saw her, she is 30 something now.
Yeah, so right around the
she's
time
30 something now.
Yeah.
So she's a grown woman, and you know, it's like my little niece, man. Howie's like my big brother, man, for the rest of my life. So it's just been an honor and a privilege to just know him, man. He was always like the high profile producer of the neighborhood. So for him to give me the opportunity and the chance, you know, I owe him, you know, I owe him my success for that, you know what I'm saying? Because he put me right into a great position with great music and around some people that took me to where I needed to be.
Yeah. What's the relationship with Mark Sparks? Because he was in Charlotte a lot. I think he dealt with, as far as music-wise, with Sunshine Anderson.
Yeah, so Mark Sparks is a phenomenal producer. I actually met him in Brooklyn. And he was a few blocks from my studio, and he was like, yo, Special Ed. I was like, oh shit, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And then he was like, yo, I produced this and that and that. You know, everybody says that.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know, but I like to give everybody a chance, because I like to see, you never know what you might miss. So he came by the studio and he had some heat. So he told me at the time, you know, he was from by Charlotte, North Carolina, this, that, and the third. And I was like, all right, cool. At that time, I'm still in New York. I'm living in New York. So it just full circle came back to me moving to Charlotte and him being from here and then him moving back to Charlotte.
Yeah.
Which was like, you know, 360, but, you know, shout outs to Mark Spark, his brother Tom too, engineering and all of that.
Yeah.
We did a lot of work together, had some fun times together, you know.
Yeah.
He produced on 2 of my projects.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's a bona fide producer right there, man.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Sparky.
He is. Little Sean, do you follow his page Behind the Smoke?
Yeah, I do. I don't participate in too much social media. I don't have the time for it. Sometimes I'll post to let people know I'm alive, or I'll post to let people know that something is happening that I want them to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Other than that, man, I don't really sit there and read too much, but I have seen a few of his posts.
He's always on point with stuff.
Oh yeah, well, he's telling his truth.
Yeah.
The same way. He's grown, he's just maturing. We all in the light, like we all in our own truth.
Yeah.
So what he's saying, he gonna tell you his truth. He ain't got no reason to be out here bullshitting for attention.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's past that.
Yeah.
So whatever he's saying to get that off his chest, to get that off his heart, and to just put it out there.
Yeah.
He has an opinion that should be heard like everyone else's. So yeah, shout out to Lil Sean too.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, I just want to thank you for everything you've done, for the history, the culture of hip hop. We appreciate you. I hope you feel appreciated in this space, you know?
Oh, hell yeah. I appreciate y'all for having me, man. And like I said, good luck with this platform, and, you know, just keep doing what you're doing. And, you know, it's about consistency.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You stay consistent and it grows.
Yeah.
Period. So congratulations on what you're doing, and that you see the vision, because media is where it's at.
Yeah. Thank you, man. We appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Peace.